Приветствую вас, друзья. Усаживаемся поудобнее. Сегодня пойдет речь о дистресс-сигналах и что делать при тревоге man overboard, человек за бортом.
In a man overboard situation, the skipper is responsible for taking immediate action to safely recover the person from the water. As regards any kind of emergency, preventing accidents should be the ultimate goal of the entire crew. As the old saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Schedule man overboard drills on a regular basis. Here are some vital tips. 1. Guardrails should be continuously fitted around the deck. The ends should be secured with lashings or quick release slips, so recovering a person overboard is quicker and easier. 2. Paint the boat deck with non-skid paint or apply anti-slip strips. 3. Wear a life jacket with retroreflective tape and a whistle. 4. Wear suitable protective clothing. 5. In the following situations, crew members on deck should wear safety harnesses. When sailing in rough weather, when sailing at night, when sailing in restricted visibility, when working alone on deck. The following safety equipment should be ready for immediate use. 1. A lifebuoy fitted with an automatic light and retroreflective tape. 2. A buoyant heaving line. 3. A Dan buoy. 4. A dive marker. To recover the person in the water under power, turn the boat towards him to avoid catching him in the propeller. Then put the helm hard over to the opposite side and steady the boat on an upwind course. Organize the crew to prepare for recovering the victim from the water. Stop the boat in time to keep him well away from the propeller. When the victim is secured to the boat with a line, you can stop the engine.
Whether you recover the victim under sail or under power doesn't matter. Your decision depends mainly on the situation and the resources available. To recover under sail, proceed as follows. Start the engine. Sail away on a reach to the apparent wind to get sea room to maneuver. Organize the crew to prepare for recovering the victim from the water. Tack round and sail to a close reach. Ease the sheets down and stop windward of the person in the water. Make the recovery over the leeward side.
Getting a person on board can be difficult. First, you must judge whether or not the victim can help himself. If he can help himself, and if it's safe to do so, use a bathing ladder or platform. If the person cannot help himself, it will be necessary to use some kind of a lifting tackle. Using a lifting sling and a tackle, attach the top of the tackle to the halyard and lift the person on board. A dinghy provides another option for recovery. Distress signals are used when a boat or a crew member are in grave and imminent danger and require immediate assistance. Several devices can be used to attract the attention of possible rescue units. A radio, an EPIRB, a radar transponder, pyrotechnics, flags, and signals. Which device is the best to use depends on the circumstances. If the visibility is good and the rescuers are close by, you could use hand flares, or if you're far away from land, maybe it's best to activate the EPIRB. The most common way of sending a distress signal is by radio. Modern radios conform to the GMDSS, Global Maritime Distress and Safety System. GMDSS is an international system that uses terrestrial and satellite technology and shipboard radio systems to allow rapid response in an emergency situation. Nowadays, distress messages can be initiated digitally by pressing the call button on the radio set. Radio sets which are not according to the GMDSS standard transmit a distress message by voice on channel 16 on a VHF transmitter or on 2182 kHz on an MF transmitter. The reception range of a VHF transmitter to a coastal station averages 35 nautical miles and between an MF transmitter and a coastal station 150 nautical miles. If you or your vessel are in grave and immediate danger, use the Mayday call. Mayday is the internationally recognized radio telephony distress signal for a person or a vessel in grave and imminent danger. Start a Mayday call procedure as follows. Check that the main battery switch is on and switch the radio to a high power setting. Select channel 16 on VHF or 2182 kHz on an MF transmitter. When you use the MF transmitter, the distress message should be preceded by the two-tone alarm. Press the transmit button and say slowly and clearly, Mayday, 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 this is... Repeat the name of vessel 3 times. Mayday, this is... Name of vessel spoken once. My position is... State your latitude and longitude, or true bearing and distance from a known point. Now give information about the nature of distress, assistance required, number of persons on board, and other vital information. End your Mayday call with the word over. For example, Mayday, 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 this is Seahorse A, Seahorse A, Seahorse A. Mayday, this is Seahorse A. My position is 051 degrees, 25 minutes north and 004 degrees, 55 minutes west. I'm on fire and require immediate assistance. 6 adults and 2 children on board, 8 in total. 1 adult is injured and in critical condition. Over. Distress pyrotechnics come in various types: handheld, buoyant, or as parachute rockets. The red parachute rocket is designed for long-range signaling. During the day, the visibility of the flare is up to 8 nautical miles, and at night up to 21 nautical miles. The rocket carries its payload to a height of 984 feet and then ejects a red flare. The burning time is 40 seconds at 30,000 candelas. The red hand flare is used for short-range signaling situations. During a clear, dark night, the visibility of the flare is 5 nautical miles at sea level and 10 nautical miles from an aircraft. In daylight, the visibility is reduced. The burning time is 60 seconds at a minimum of 15,000 candelas, and the flare is red. The buoyant orange smoke signal is used in daylight only to pinpoint the distress position to a searching aircraft. It emits dense orange smoke for about 2 minutes. It's very important to read the instructions for use on each distress signal carefully. Store your signaling devices in a marked watertight container which should be readily available. All pyrotechnics are equipped with a date of expiration. Replace expired pyrotechnics as they become less reliable. To dispose of them, return them to the manufacturer or to the nearest Coast Guard station. Another very important aid to one-way radio communication is the EPIRB. EPIRB stands for Emergency Position Indicating Radio Beacon. The EPIRB transmits the distress alert to a satellite. The satellite locates the EPIRB's position and relays the information to a land station, and in turn the land station relays the information to a rescue coordination center. EPIRBs contain an optional 121.5 MHz homing beacon. This homing device facilitates search and rescue helicopters with VHF direction finders. The EPIRB is also fitted with a hydrostatic release unit, which, if the vessel sinks, releases at a certain depth the EPIRB automatically from its stowage position. When the EPIRB emerges on the surface, it will automatically start the distress alert. SART stands for Search and Rescue Transponder. It's a device for locating ships or their survival craft in distress. The SART operates in the 9 GHz frequency band, generating a series of dots when being interrogated by a search craft with an X-band 3 cm radar. As the search craft approaches to within 1 nautical mile of the SART, the 12 dots change to wide arcs and eventually into complete circles as the search craft nears the SART.